Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something, well, pretty universal. Trying to bring some calm and order into our homes.
Right. It often feels like a constant battle, doesn't it?
It really does. And our source material today looks at a tool that's surprisingly simple. For this, just a basic journal notebook.
Yeah, we've gone through quite a bit. Product details, personal stories, practical tips.
Exactly. We've looked at the whole picture.
And our mission here is really to pull out the most valuable ideas on how you can use a journal like this to make managing your home feel less stressful, more streamlined.
Because, let's be honest, have you ever just looked around your house and felt totally overwhelmed by all the tasks? Wished for an easier way to keep track of it all?
I think most people have been there.
Definitely. So that's what we're digging into. Let's start at the beginning then. What exactly is a journal notebook for home organization? It's more than just blank pages, presumably.
Oh, absolutely. Think of it as a dedicated command center for your home, a physical spot. You're actively tracking schedules, writing down those to-do lists that seem never-ending, maybe planning meals, even jotting down bigger home goals. It's about having one central place for all that stuff.
So getting away from sticky notes all over the place or random notes on your phone.
Precisely. That's a big part of it. The sources we looked at really emphasize how putting it all in one physical book helps streamline things. It's not just about the physical clutter, but the mental clutter, too.
The mental clutter, that's huge.
Right. Trying to remember everything is exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is a more organized home, sure, but also that feeling of calm that comes with it.
That sounds really good. Now, you mentioned product details. Some of the sources got specific about features like thick paper, 120 GSM, I think it was.
Yes, right.
And built-in tables of contents, numbered pages. Why do those little details matter for organizing your home?
Well, they might seem small, but they actually make the system work better long term. That thicker paper, for instance. It just means your pens won't bleed through.
Okay, practical.
Yeah, so you can use different colors, highlighters maybe, without making a mess on the other side. It helps with visual organization.
And then numbered pages. The table of contents.
That turns it from just a notebook into like a real reference tool if you need to find that chili recipe from 3 weeks ago or the plumber's number.
You can actually find it again.
Exactly. You build up this useful archive for your home. It stops being just random notes.
It becomes a kind of record. I noticed, too, they mentioned lots of covers, soft ones, hard ones, loads of different colors. Does the look of it actually help with organizing? Seems a bit secondary.
You know, I think it does matter. If you actually like the tool you're using, if it feels nice, you're just more likely to pick it up and use it consistently.
Makes sense. Less of a chore.
Right. Choosing a color or style you like makes the whole process feel a bit more intentional, maybe even enjoyable. And having different options, different price points just makes it more accessible.
Okay, so we get the what and the features. But a really strong point in the sources was about physical journaling. Why push pen and paper when we have so many digital tools?
That's a great question, and it taps into something interesting about how we process information. The act of physically writing, it encourages more intention.
How so?
Well, it takes a bit more effort than just typing, doesn't it? You slow down. That physical act, forming the letters, it actually helps lodge the information in your brain more firmly, creates stronger memory traces.
So writing it down literally helps you remember it better.
Pretty much, yeah. And that deliberateness fosters accountability. Seeing your plans, your lists in your own handwriting in a physical book, you're less likely to just swipe it away or forget about it like a notification.
It's right there, a physical reminder.
Exactly. It demands a different kind of focus away from digital distractions. It's more mindful.
Mindful planning, I like that. Okay, let's talk struggles. We all have them with home stuff. What are the common problems people face, and how does this journal actually help solve them?
Oh, the sources mention several very familiar ones. Just forgetting things, right? Appointments, paying a bill, that kind of stuff.
Guilty.
Yeah, happens to everyone. Then there's just clutter, not just physical stuff, but a lack of system, feeling totally overwhelmed by where to even start.
That feeling of chaos.
Precisely. And finally, ineffective to-do lists, just one long, rambling list that makes you feel more stressed, not less.
Been there too.
Yo.
So how does the notebook tackle these?
It gives you a framework. For the lists, you start structuring them maybe by room or by type of task, like errands or cleaning. That gives you clarity.
Instead of just a brain dump.
Right. And it helps you create actual schedules, like a weekly cleaning plan or monthly maintenance tasks. You spread things out so it doesn't all pile up.
Preventing that Sunday night overnight panic of everything needing doing.
Exactly. And maybe the most powerful part is the visual progress. Using checklists, habit trackers, actually ticking things off physically is really motivating.
Oh yeah, that satisfaction of checking a box is real. Now, there was a story mentioned about someone named Erin. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Erin's story was a great example. She's a busy working mom, 2 kids, felt like she was constantly drowning in tasks, schedules, you name it.
Sounds familiar to many, I bet.
Totally. Even using digital tools, she felt stressed and behind. So she tried one of these Listallian journals.
Okay.
She dedicated sections, daily checklists, family schedules, meal planning. At first, she wasn't sure if it'd just be another thing to do.
Right, adding another task to the list of tasks.
But she committed to just about 10 minutes a day with it, and she actually started seeing results. Meals got planned better. The house felt less chaotic because she scheduled little tidy-ups. She felt on top of appointments.
Wow, just 10 minutes.
Yeah. The takeaway was that small, consistent effort within a structured system made a huge difference to her stress levels and feeling in control.
That's encouraging. It doesn't have to take over your life.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone listening is thinking, okay, maybe I should try this, what are some practical, actionable tips to make it work well?
Definitely. The sources had good ones. Start simple. Make a weekly to-do list for the must-dos.
Okay.
Then, really use dedicated sections. Have a space for meal ideas and shopping lists. Another for cleaning, maybe Monday bathrooms, Tuesday kitchen, whatever works.
Breaking it down.
Exactly. A section for appointments is crucial. Maybe one for tracking bills or budgeting. If you have home projects going on like sorting the garage or planning some decorating, track it there too.
Like a project manager for your house?
Kind of. And for families, logging everyone's schedule school stuff, activities in one place can be a lifesaver. Oh, and some notebooks, like those Listallian ones, have a back pocket. Super handy for receipts or little notes.
Right, keeping everything together. It's about creating your own system, really.
Yeah, that's it.
Personalizing it. So when choosing a notebook, because there are tons out there, what should people look for specifically for this purpose?
Key things. Good quality paper, definitely. You don't want ink ghosting or bleeding through.
Right, we covered that.
Numbered pages and that table of contents are really important for finding things later. Make sure the binding feels sturdy, whether you like softcover or hardcover.
Durability matters for daily use.
For sure. A5 size seems popular, big enough to write in, small enough to carry around or keep handy, and little extras like an elastic band to keep it closed, or a ribbon bookmark. They just make it easier to use day to day.
Small things that make a difference. Okay, so pulling this all together, what's the big picture message from this deep dive?
I think the core idea is that this kind of journal isn't just, a nice notebook. It's a tool that can genuinely change how you manage your home life.
A catalyst, you said earlier.
Yeah. By bringing everything, lists, plans, schedules, goals into one structured place, you can really cut down on stress, get more efficient, and just feel more well-organized.
And calmer, hopefully.
Exactly. It comes down to organization, planning, structure. Those are the keys to effective home management, and this gives you a simple way to implement them.
It really does sound like a straightforward path to feeling more in control. So for you listening, maybe take a moment. How could a system like this work in your home? Could it bring more order, less stress?
And think about which strategy felt most relevant. Was it the structured lists, the cleaning schedule, maybe dedicating sections for meals or finances? What's your biggest pain point right now?
And here's something to really mull over. What if you intentionally set aside, just say 5 or 10 minutes each day, put pen to paper, and actively planned? How might that small act change your sense of calm and control in your own home environment?
It's a small investment, but the potential payoff for your peace of mind could be pretty significant.